Chafin! Welcome to Week 10 of Winding Plus 2019. Just like that, another week in the books. And we hit double digits. This is crunch time, where the winners get paid and the legends get made. With 9 teams within one game of second place, there's no telling how the final stretch will play out. Let's take a look at last week's matchups. Our first matchup saw an absolutely smoldering Chiz defeating a sub-room temperature me. Chiz continues to mount one of his biggest comebacks of the league have ever seen. After an abysmal, pathetic, arduous 0-5 start, Chiz manages to find himself on a W4. And right back in the heart of the competition. Some top-notch Thursday night performers from Emmanuel and Kittle gave Chiz a sizable lead into that weekend. Tyreek Hill had himself a day as well, treating the DB like his son and repeatedly beating him all day. I hate to say it, but the pizza man was right. Golden Tate outscored Tevin Coleman's measly 4 points like it was nothing. I should probably pay that pizza guy since we did make a bet after all. Anyways, another loss has me riding the double hockey sticks as I continue to slip down the standings. With the fastest rapper in the world, Kenyon Drake, sitting on the bench alongside Marvin Jones, Chiefin's team managed to barely eclipse 100. Incorrect start-sit decisions proved costly as the points left on the bench would have secured the W. Chiefin chose Chafin. Incorrect. Ow. Matchup deuce was the battle of two former top dogs where we had Dylan moving from the Arctic and ending his cold streak by taking out Chevy. Did I say Dylan? I meant Dillwin. Congrats, buddy. It was a hell of a slide, but I'm happy to see it end here. Apparently all you needed was the motivation of having to stay KPs for a week. That'll probably motivate me too now that I think about it. A 126-point performance against Dylan back in the win column. It only took 30 from Evans to get the win, so I'm definitely thinking this is sustainable. Amendola and Witten are definitely a good long-term solution for you as well. Keep it up and you'll be back at the top of the standings in no time. Chevy. What was once a great team with a crappy team name is now a crappy team with a crappy team name. Without Mahomes and DJ, this team has proven to be beyond average. Failing to score more than 105 points for the third straight week in a row, what was once a brawny Chevy Tahoe is looking like a puny Chevy Malibu. Only time will tell if this team can return to the early season form before it's too late. Chiefin chose Chevy. Incorrect. In our third matchup, we had what may be the oldest member of the league taking on the youngest. I'm really not too sure, but I think the oldest taught the younger a lesson. Well, I know that to be the case, but I'm not sure that the oldest, youngest, respectively. Anyway, Turner beat PP Man. In our third matchup, with arguably his best two players on bye, what an interesting time for Turner to show some life. DK went bananas, raking in a massive 24 points. Melvin Gordon and Zach Ertz arose from the dead following Halloween as well. This team has the firepower to make a late season push. Keep your eyes on Daddy T. If Kike point total was as high as he was in Amsterdam, he may have stood a chance. A-Rob is right, because his 1.1 points robbed you of a win. And L2 has Kike tied for the worst record in the league at 3-6. CPR has been attempted and the patient is stabilized, but really holding on for dear life. Kike may be building a waller he can't quite get over. Chiefin chose Turner. Correct. Our fourth matchup, and by far the lowest scoring, saw Russ edging out the win over Kyle Putty. Although not his best performance, Russ managed to escape with the win and extend his win streak to 4 games. Extending to 4 is typically for Russ, but there's no way he's pushing for 5. With a combined 10 points from both his receivers as well as his tight end, I'm not quite sure how Russ won. At 7-2, Russ sits atop of this league, looking down at the jam-packed clutter, vigorously battling for the remaining 5 spots of safety. Kyle Perry. Oh man, am I going to have fun with this one. All right, here we go. Ha! 77.1 points. I don't even typically use decimals, but I'm trying to give you every benefit of the doubt here. Did I say this team was dangerous? I meant dangerously bad. You pride yourself on being a fantasy whiz, yet you start a tight end on an offense that threw the ball 44 times and your guy didn't see a single target. That's a 0% target share. Similar share of Thielen. With KP playing duck, goose, goose, it was going to be nearly impossible for him to have a respectable week, and he didn't. Chiefin chose Kyle Perry. That was incorrect. Matchup number 5, and I'm feeling alive. Two of my best pros with beat on taking on close. With a week high of 150 point performance, it's put up or shut up, and this dude won't stop yapping. Danger Russ Wilson was an animal, putting up an astonishing 53-point performance. Sprinkle in some of that James White, and you're in for a good time. Don't be surprised if Beat on pulls your chick, as he's without a doubt one of the hottest teams in the league right now. Oh, clothesline. If I owned your team, I'd probably clothesline myself, to be honest. I said that last week. Your team needed some Adams to come back to have a chance. I stand corrected. He's back and he have no chance. With Kelsey continuing his mediocrity, limited production contributions from his other skill positions, this team hasn't gone over 106 points since week 3. Aside from attending a Lizzo concert, I still haven't heard the fat lady sing, so we'll continue to monitor the situation. Chief and chose beat on. That was correct. Our 6th and final matchup, and of course my favorite of the week, saw Farmer Arge plowing Sean Rott and raking in that W. Unfortunately for Sean, it was the week to face Grandpa, and boy did he get spanked. With a combined 6 points from his kicker and defense, Sean had to look elsewhere for his production. That search at receiver turned up empty as both Tyrell and Diggs chose to have their worst fantasy outputs of the season. From highest point scoring total the week prior from one of the lowest this week. This team is tougher to read than the script I get every week. I don't know how, but he's done it again. With the least amount of points in the league, Grandpa Arge manages to find himself in playoff positioning at 5-4. Let's see who he trotted out this week. Lindsey, RB1. Cohen, RB2. Fells. I can't even make fun of Crowder because he had a great game, but he still sucks. Nevertheless, RJ rallied behind David Carr's 27 points to secure the win and further advance his playoff hopes. One can't help to think what this man would be able to accomplish if he was actually any good at fantasy football. Chief and chose Sean. Incorrect. Let's take a look at everybody's points scored this past week. Bye.